Welcome to Straight Up. I'm Stella Winston. The spoken word is done by many, but my two guests do it so beautifully, so wonderfully, so touchingly, so beautifully. I'd like to welcome Tantra and Fisiwe to Straight Up.
Thank
Hi,
you.
Stella. Thank you so much for having us.
Oh, you're welcome. Now let's start backwards. Okay, recently you were the opening act to Def Jam at BAM.
Yes.
Is that correct?
That's right.
Please tell me all about it.
It was really incredible. It was a project by Danny Simmons, and it was called Deaf Poetry Plugs In, Poets Who Perform to Music. And we opened along with a singer named Marie Garrett, who played for us as well. She played piano and guitar. And Sonia Sanchez performed, and it was just incredible.
That was a highlight for us, getting a
Yes.
chance to not only be there while she was performing, but meet her backstage. It was an incredible historical moment for us.
Okay. And why is she important to you as a spoken word artist?
She is the mother of poetry. She is someone who I grew up on in terms of reading and becoming interested in the spoken word and through poetry. I mean, everything she does, the way she uses her voice, the way she uses language and words, and her subject matter, she's just incredible.
Not to mention the fact that, I mean, she's still doing it after
Yes.
all these many, many years. I mean, I know she's an elder at this point, and so many of us, especially as female poets, as women poets, we needed somebody to help set the way, and she's definitely one of those people. So it's beautiful to meet her.
So it was an honor to be there with her.
Absolutely.
So what was your experience? I mean, that was fantastic.
I couldn't believe it. It was like a dream come true. You know, how you imagine things happening, and then they actually happen. You're like, is this real? I mean, like, wow. You know, it was just that kind of thing. And the most wonderful experience about that night was that people came out.
Oh, yeah.
In numbers. We
It was
sold
full.
out the Brooklyn Academy of Music. Wow. So there is a demand for poetry. There is a demand for the spoken word. This genre is alive. So it made us feel really, really blessed to be a part of it.
Wow. Okay. So now you also do something. Is it every Thursday night at a? Is it a club called Erotica? What is that about?
Urban Erotica takes place, and it's put together by a group called Love Storm Entertainment, and it's headed by an incredibly creative, passionate gentleman named Mo Beasley. And what he's done is he's taken love stories, poetry, and put it in a very theatrical setting so that people can talk about erotica in a really positive and enthusiastic way. We get all kinds of poetry. I mean, we run the gamut in terms of talking about the relationship between male, female, or whatever. Infatuation, bliss, seduction, everything.
Everything. So you get to talk about all the emotions of love and romance.
But it's done in such a way that it really makes us think a lot. It moves people. It pushes you to think outside of the box. It's different than what you get a chance to really see about relationships on most television shows. It's much more intricate. It's much more personal. It's much more real, very real.
Now, before we talk about your CD, what is it like to work together? Because I mean, I've seen you perform together, and it's like two instruments playing together. And how does it work? Does it take a lot of time, or do you just naturally flow beautifully?
We have a chemistry.
It is instant.
We have a chemistry.
It
and
is instant.
There's a connection between the two of us that it's there.
It's hard to explain, but it's very easy to come by. It was always natural from the beginning when we first met each other years ago, at the Brooklyn Tea Party, through that and through another friend of ours who's been a part of both of our lives for a long time. We started performing together in the beginning with our other friend, and then as time went on, we ended up we've had like 2 incarnations of our group.
We've reinvented ourselves a couple of times.
But what has been lasting is the fact that we identify with each other's experience so much on so many different levels. And so even though we are unique in terms of our style or our approach, they work together. And I feed off her energy.
And I feed off of hers.
Now let's talk just a little bit about the creative process. One of you will write something, and you'll throw it at the other person. And what then you'll just like play it back and forth. How does that work? Come on, clue us in.
It's a give and take. What's interesting is one of the poems that we performed this evening is called Woman to Man. It was written by Fisiwe, and it's on our CD. And she wrote it, and there's singing in it, but I did the poetry part, and she did the singing.
Oh, okay.
And so, just to try to internalize and to feel the energy that in which she wrote the piece, and being that I know her so well, I feel like I'm able to do that.
Oh, okay.
She does it beautifully. I mean, that's a big part of our relationship is I trust her with my words. I trust her with my emotions. I trust her with my life because that's what my poetry really is always about. And I know that she can trust me with hers as well. And so that trust gets us through a lot of things. Like, I know that she'll be there in the poem wherever I need her to be.
Now, I'm going to show the CD that you've done, and the name of that CD. What is the name of that?
Okay, our latest CD is called Natural, Bring That Poem Home.
Yeah.
Natural, Bring That Poem Home.
Yes.
And the 3 pieces that you're going to do here on Straight Up, and are they on the CD?
Yes, they are.
And what are their names?
Okay, the first one is Bring That Poem Home.
Okay.
The second one is Woman to Man. And the last one is a verbal collage, and it's a combination of some of the stuff that we've done.
Okay, well, I want the viewers of Straight Up to sit back, relax, because you're about to be treated to some beautiful spoken word that will touch you, that will probably bring you to tears, because I know bring some of my crew to tears. So I really want you to enjoy Straight Up. Again, Tantra and Fisiwe, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Stella. Thank you for having us.
It was beautiful.
It's a blessing.